Hello everyone and welcome back to another OPTC video. In this video I'm going to be going through my teams for Treasure Map versus Chopper. So these teams I'm pretty happy about them, but there is one team that I'm not too happy about. But anyways, let's get into the first team against Gordon. He is a strength mini boss. This team is very fast. It only uses 0 specials on the final stage, so it's very fast. So on stage 1 we're going to use our Kuzan special to wave clear. Stage 2 we'll use our Kiko and Izo special to give us a chain lock, wave clear, and also change our bottom row slots into Wano, since we have 5 or more shooters on the crew. They do give the bottom row Wano orbs, so that's going to be super useful for the final stage, giving us both Wano and a chain lock, as well as wave clearing on stage 2. Then on the final stage we're going to use our Luffy's potential ability to get rid of the 5 turns of special ship bind, and then we have the support of Ace to get rid of the 3 turns of bind to our captains, and then we can use our Kuzan's captain ability to give us a 2x attack and orb boost. If you have your Kuzan at level limit break 3, then he'll give you an instant 2x attack and orb boost on the final stage. So he's a super useful and fast character. So with literally 0 specials and 1 support, we can get around everything, as well as give ourselves an attack orb boost, a chain lock, and Wano orbs. So this team is super fast. Zephyr is just there because he's a boosted quick shooter, and he's going to be dealing a lot of damage. And later on, if you do need more damage, which you'll only probably need at very high nav levels, then you can also activate your Magellan special to give you a poison conditional attack boost. We also have the support of Lucci on our Kuzan to give our shooter characters a 1.5x color affinity, so it's not needed, but it will help a bit. So 2 supports, 0 specials, and it will last for the entire treasure map. This is a very fast team, very strong as well. So this is probably the best team that I have in this video. So I recommend using this if you aren't using Kiko and Izo in one of the other mini bosses. But either way, let's get into the next mini boss against Usopp and Usopp. I'm also very happy with this team. We're using Carrot as our captain, since the enemy does have damage nullification on the final stage. So having Carrot to just get through that passively is awesome. So on stage 1 we're going to use our Baccarat special to wave clear. We have Baccarat also to reduce a bit of the ship bind. There is 10 turns of ship bind on this quest, so you need 2 units that have the potential ability to reduce it, to get rid of all the 10 turns. So Don Krieg and Gin and Baccarat are both wave clearers that have ship bind potential ability. So we're using Krieg and Gin to wave clear on stage 2, Baccarat on stage 1, and then on the final stage we can activate our Who's Who to get around the 2 turns of special rewind, as well as give us a chain boost and a color affinity. Then we can use our Shiki special to get rid of the 5 turns of paralysis, as well as give us a 2.25x orb boost, and to proc the support effect of Smoker to give us a 1.75x attack boost. We're not even activating Carrot's special, just there for her captain ability to get through the damage nullification. So this team is very fast, very strong, 2 specials, 1 support on the final stage, and 4 units have type advantage against the enemy. So this team is very strong, should last at least 200 nav levels. So very strong, very fast. I recommend this team if you do have the units. Let's move on to the next mini boss against Beckman and Lucky Roo. So this is the one I'm a bit sketchy about, because if you don't have Shanks or Bullet at a level limit break 3 or higher, then it is a very hard quest mini boss to go against, because the enemy does change into a random type. So obviously Shanks changes the enemy's type to strength, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you don't have Shanks, you have to use Bullet. And the thing about Bullet is that you need him at level limit break 3 to have his upgraded captain effect, where he gives cooldown to your units. So mine isn't at level limit break 3, so his captain ability is still at the base level, so he doesn't give any cooldown. So it's very annoying trying to team build for this, because our units aren't going to get any cooldown for the final stage. So this team is pretty slow, but it's pretty strong still, and I think it will last for quite a while. So on stage 1 we're going to use our Moria to deal 5000 fixed damage to all enemies and kill. Then on stage 2 we can use our Inaru special to give us a wave clear, as well as giving 2 turns of cooldown to our int units. That is very important because Sengoku doesn't get cooldown from the quest, so we're relying on that Inaru special to give him cooldown so he's ready on the final stage. The support of the waifus are also required to give him 1 turn of cooldown, so very specific. And then on the final stage we're going to use our Bullet special to give us end of turn damage, so we can get around the resilience, as well as we have the Bruno Festa character, I don't know how to pronounce that, but he's going to change the block orbs into matching. And then make sure you use Bullet before Sengoku, because Sengoku special is going to get rid of the damage reduction, as well as give us a chain boundary effect. Now the chain boundary effect does require your friend captain to have a strength orb, so make sure you have your bullets special activated first so you can give your friend captain a strength orb, and then use your Sengoku to give you the chain boundary effect. The enemy does give you a chain attack down. You need a chain and multiplier of at least 3x to start dealing damage. So having that chain boundary from Sengoku is really good. He gives it a 2.5x minimum chain boundary effect. So you need to activate you need to hit 2 perfects and then you'll start dealing damage. Then you can also activate your special of Doflamingo to give you a 2.25x attack and orb boost. Very strong, and then you can just have the support of Kid on your Dofi for a 1.3x color affinity. So obviously the only units that are going to be doing real damage is your two bullets, but that should be good enough. Just hit a perfect on your Sengoku or any of the other units, and then tap a perfect on your bullet, and then that should kill the enemy. So this is very strong, and also since the enemy does not have normal attacks only, your bullets special damage is going to be very effective and will help with damage a lot. So this team is very strong. I think it will last, basically, it should last past 200 nav levels just because of that end of turn damage from bullet. But it's pretty slow, 3 specials and 3 supports on the final stage. So it's pretty slow, but if you don't have bullet at a good level limit break and you don't have Shanks, then this is a very good option. Moving on to the next mini boss against Shanks. This is probably my second favorite mini boss team. On stage 1, we're going to use our Luffy and Law to wave clear. So they are replaceable by any other quick units that is Slasher or Cerebral that can wave clear. But they are a good option. If you don't have them, then there is probably other options. Then on stage 2, we're going to use your Pedro to wave clear, as well as give you a 3-turn color affinity to Slasher and Cerebral characters, and give you a full board of matching orbs. So Pedro is a very underrated character. He's going to give you so much. In addition to wave clearing on stage 2, he can give you color affinity and a full board of matching orbs for the final stage. So that's why you need to run a Slasher Cerebral character for Luffy and Law's place, so that they also have the color affinity on the final stage. Then on the final stage, we can activate our Carrot and Wanda special to give the enemy defense down of 0, because the enemy does have 7 turns of defense up, and then a 6-turn threshold and damage reduction. So it's best to just run a captain that can go through those defensive effects. So we're using our Cat Viper. He's an excellent unit. We're not using his special, and unfortunately he doesn't have type advantage, but he's still an excellent option, allowing us to go through the threshold and damage reduction. Then we can use our Carrot and Wanda. They will reduce the enemy's defense to 0, so we can get around the enemy's defense up. And they'll also give us a 2.5x orb boost, and they'll proc the support of Dogstorm to give us a 1.75x attack boost. So with that one character, we can get an orb boost, attack boost, and get around the defense up. And then we still have the color affinity from Pedro on stage 2. And then we can activate our Perona special to give us a chain lock of 3.25x and a defense down conditional attack boost. So this team is very solid. A conditional attack boost, a very good chain lock, an attack boost, orb boost, and color affinity. And if you tap with a good on Perona and then a perfect on your Carrot and Wanda, they'll be doing insane damage. So I don't know why my Carrot and Wanda is in this dex form, but make sure they're starting off in a quick form, since the enemy is a strength mini boss. But Luffy and Law will also deal quite a bit of damage since they have type advantage and have the color affinity from your Pedro. But Carrot and Wanda, you should tap with them first, since they have the highest damage from our stat boost. But moving on to the final boss team. So the final boss and Intrusion are actually very easy this time around, because running Snake Man as your friend captain just carries, since he provides so many damage boosting effects. So with Snake Man as our friend captain, he is also the highest booster, so make sure you are running him as your friend captain. So Snake Man is a captain that centers around Psy, Fighter, and Free Spirit units, so making sure that all of our other units are centered around that on our team. So as a captain, we are running Zoro and Sanji. They are a very good captain, boosting Dex and Psy units. They're also a fighter character, so they are boosted by our Luffy friend captain. Zoro and Sanji is going to provide a color affinity and inflict the enemy with increased damage taken as well. So they are very strong. They provide a lot of damage. So we can also use our Hiyori on the crew. She has a crewman ability which allows us to have a forward of 1 orbs at the start of the quest. So we can just use her and kill on the first stage against the few turtles. And then on the second stage, let's take a look at the debuffs. It's 7 turns of Bind and Despair on stage 2. So we can use our Hiyori special to give us a full board of Wano Orbs once again, as well as get rid of the Bind and Despair and lock those Wano Orbs so we have them in the final stage as well. So Hiyori takes care of the debuffs on stage 2, as well as giving us a full board of Wano Orbs that will last the entire quest. So Hiyori is a very key character on this team. And then you can also activate your Zoro and Sanji special on stage 2 for more damage boosting effects. You can also activate your Snake Man once. Make sure you activate your Snake Man first, because after you activate your Zoro and Sanji, they will charge your Snake Man special to full. If you don't know how Snake Man works, basically if you activate a special of any other Straw Hat character, any other Straw Hat member, then it will charge his special to full. So he's a very useful character. You can activate him multiple times in quests. So make sure you're using your Snake Man first for his attack boost, then activate your Zoro and Sanji for color affinity and increased damage taken, and then they'll charge your Snake Man to full once again for the final stage. So just activate your Zoro, Sanji, Snake Man, and Hiyori on stage 2. Then on the final stage, the enemy, let's take a look at the debuffs. I completely forgot. The enemy gives you 3 turns of special reverse and 10 turns of top row special bind. So that special bind, we can kind of ignore that since we already used our Zoro and Sanji special. The special reverse is kind of annoying, but it's really not a problem since your Snake Man has a super type that will give all of your units a 2 turns of cooldown. So he basically gets around most of that special reverse. And then we can use our Frankie to get rid of the final turn of special reverse, as well as give us a chain lock. So he's a very strong character, and since Frankie is a Psy booster unit, he's going to be dealing a lot of damage with Snake Man to the final boss. And then you can activate your Shinobu special to get rid of the threshold that the enemy has, as well as give you an orb boost. So just activate your Snake Man special first for an attack boost, then Frankie for a chain lock, then activate Shinobu for a orb boost and get around the threshold. And after that, it is a very easy kill. You can also add a unit that's going to give you color affinity to your Psy units, but that's not really required. It'll just help with damage a bit. So this is a very strong team, should get around it the entire treasure map, and we're running a full boosted team. So make sure on your final boss and intrusion teams you're running full boost, because you should prioritize point boost over speed for your final boss and intrusion, and then focus on speed more than points for your mini boss teams. But for the intrusion, we're running the same captain. Zoro and Sanji are so good for this. And then as subs, we're running the summer waifus batch. So Ulti and Hiyori are so good for this. On the final stage, we get a bunch of attack down. So Ulti will get rid of the attack down, and then we also get a bunch of despair, and then Hiyori will get rid of that. So those two are really good. And they also have access to awesome supports. On stage 2, we get 4 turns of paralysis. So we can use Black Maria and the Kiko and Izo unit as supports to get rid of the 4 turns of paralysis on stage 2. And then we will still have a full board of Wano Orbs from Hiyori's crewmate ability on stage 1. They'll carry over into stage 2. And we'll have a full board of Wano Orbs. So the enemy does change your orbs into empty on stage 2. But since we have Wano Orbs, that doesn't really matter. Then on stage 2, we can also activate your specials of Zoro and Sanji for a color affinity and a enemy increased damage taken once again. And then you can actually just use your barrier penetration on Frankie to get around the orb barrier that the enemy has on stage 2. So Frankie does have a barrier penetration potential ability, so just tapping on him should be able to kill the enemy very easily. Make sure you're also activating Snake Man. So first activate Snake Man, then Zoro and Sanji, and that should kill very easily. Then on the final stage, you want to activate your Frankie. He's going to get rid of the enemy's increased defense, as well as give you a chain lock. And then obviously your ulti special, use that for a base attack boost and getting rid of the attack down. Activate Hiyori for full board of Wano Orbs once again and getting rid of the despair. And then activate your Shiki for an orb boost. And that's pretty much it for this mini boss. It's very easy. I mean, this intrusion. Why am I running Shiki here? I don't know why I'm running Shiki here, because he's gonna reduce our health to 1%, and the enemy does deal 50,000 damage upon death. So make sure you're running Uta there. She's gonna be an amazing character to give you a defense down conditional attack boost. You can use her whenever on stage 2 or 3. So this mini boss, I mean this intrusion, is very easy to get around. You just need to decide where you're gonna activate all of your specials. I don't know how hard it is if you don't have ulti or Hiyori, but it's very easy for me without any of the new boosters. So this is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. And with all that being said and done, I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.